freshman year in the university, my ran across a news article. It said that the government of the UAE is starting competition for peaceful applications of drone technology. By now, probably all of you have heard about drones. Militaries use drones for reconnaissance, cargo delivery, and military attacks. The UAE competition Drones for Good was organized to stimulate society to think about non-military applications of drone technology. Our assignment was to create a drone that augments an existing service provided by the UAE government. This appealed to my natural geekiness. So when we read the article, my roommate and I emailed one of our professors at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we asked, quote unquote, for feedback while we journeyed through our wonderland of impossible engineering ideas. This professor agreed to become our mentor. Mentorship is the first value for problem solving that I want to emphasize. Mentor is someone that holds you accountable to your goals and to your values. He's someone that you choose rather than being assigned to you, so that you're naturally inclined to respect them and follow their advice. It is someone to turn to if things go bad. On this slide, I say excellent mentorship. Well, what does that mean? Of course, everyone's mind is wired differently. So what excellent mentorship means to me might not be an excellent mentorship to you. But a model of mentorship in which the mentor collaborates rather than tutors, inspires rather than intimidates, and respects your limitations rather than dismissing you for them, it's something that I found crucial in my work and my education. So when starting a project, I ask myself a question: is there someone I can turn to if things go bad? After having a great mentor, addressing a real problem is the second powerful principle that I want to propose. Have a look at this Rubik's Cube. No longer how long I try to solve it, I cannot find a solution because there's no problem to solve. An accurate definition and assessment of a problem is the foundation of a good solution. A real problem is justified by external evidence, but is also something that you truly believe in internally. You may find it via a statistical report, self-reflection in the shower, or talking to people. But once you find a real problem, it is something that makes for the strongest possible problem definition. When finding a problem to address for the Drones for Good competition, my roommate and I realized that we want to find a real problem faced by the UAE government. So the way we went about this is we probed the domestic policy of the UAE, and we found that environment is a key political component of the national political agenda. After this first step, we look for a partner that is willing to experiment with a new technology and accept our help. We joined forces with the Wadi Drone National Park. It is the first national park in the United Arab Emirates, the largest, and it is recognized by the Ramsar Convention under the patronage of WWF as a wetland of international importance. Our approach to finding the problem here was very personal. We went to the park, we talked to the rangers and the management, and we asked them about their job. And we found out that the single most important tool they have for protecting the natural environment of the park are these camera traps. They are motion-activated cameras spread across locations in the park. They snap a photo whenever there is an animal or a poacher present in front of their motion sensor. The challenge with these, or the challenge with the current method of getting photos from these cameras spread across the vast expanse of the park, is that the rangers have to hike to get SD cards from those camera traps. They have to hike for up to 2 days in temperatures that reach 50 degrees Celsius. It gets in the Middle East. And the UAE must allocate military helicopter at a price of around $270,000 a year to reach points in the national park otherwise inaccessible during the summer when it's the hottest. So regardless of the Drones for Good competition, we found here a problem that needs to be addressed. This was our real problem. It is justified by the external evidence, and since I actually became friends with these park rangers, it was something I truly believed in. It is easier to recognize a real problem when it's so deeply based in real world like this, but a real problem can be more theoretical as well. Though, no matter how much work you put into your idea, as long as you're not solving a relevant problem, your solution is likely to go unnoticed. After identifying a real problem, you need to find a way to solve it. Here, I would like to propose collaboration as the second value for going about this. Sorry, third value. In the real world, you have to solve a problem with a finite amount of money, time, and knowledge. And collaboration is a way to surmount these challenges. In the Wadi Drone, our solution to the problem in Wadi National Park was this data mule drone. It connects from 250 meters in the air to our proprietary solar-powered photo transmission system, which is on the ground. This augments the existing camera traps, like so, plus some connections, and allows them to transmit photos from the camera trap to our drone. This device cuts the frequency with which the rangers have to hike through the national park by 1/2 and reduces the cost, remember the Black Hawk helicopter, by a factor of 10. This is a photo from our test flight in the national park. As you can see, the drone is hand-launched from a location in the park. It flies to the GPS coordinates using an autopilot. And once it reaches the camera trap, like this one, it circles overhead and wirelessly downloads the photos. Afterwards, it flies back to the base, and rangers don't have to hike. That's not it. So now I hope to have raised a question in your mind. How can 4 undergraduate students develop a machine that requires knowledge of electrical, mechanical, and aeronautical engineering and computer science? It was through collaboration. Collaboration can mean looking back to what other people have done, or looking forward to imagine, with the help of others, things that don't exist yet. Building on top of existing work of other people is something that has been at the center of human development through academia for centuries. But today, working in a global market, when anything can be shipped between 2 locations in the world in 5 days, it is easier than ever before to work with other people's existing solutions. In the Wadi Drone, since there is no point in reinventing the wheel, rather than building electronics from scratch, we tinkered and hacked around existing technologies. For example, our plane is guided by the APM autopilot. It is an open source autopilot developed by drone enthusiasts around the world. So while they were developing it, They documented it very well, so it's very easy to learn how to use. Because so many people worked on it, it is well tested and reliable, and being open source, it is 1/5 of the cost of other commercial autopilots. This way of collaboration is reflective. It uses what other people have already done. Another way to collaborate is to create what does not exist yet. It is by reaching out to people for help with tasks outside your scope of knowledge. All around us, there are people with brilliant skills in various areas, and they're very excited to use them, especially young people like myself who are passionate about what they are doing. So collaborate. Mentorship, solving a real problem, and collaboration are 3 values that allow hardworking people to create positive change. These 3 principles are the integral part of entrepreneurship and education that I want to receive. They instate the problem-solving attitude that acknowledges the interconnectedness and openness of today's world. Everyone has the propensity and can have the ability to be entrepreneurial. And this is a framework to make the most out of a finite amount of time, money, and knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much.